All right, let's dive into one of history's most baffling mysteries. We're talking about a book that has shut down every single attempt to understand it. It's a 600-year-old puzzle made of nothing but ink and animal skin.
I mean, just imagine for a second. A book filled with elegant handwriting and these incredible detailed drawings, but the message is totally lost on us. This isn't science fiction. This is the real-life paradox of the Voynich Manuscript. It looks like a book, it feels like a book, but it absolutely refuses to be read.
Today, it sits quietly in a vault at Yale's Rare Book Library. And for all the brilliant minds that have pored over its pages, the book just stays silent. It's like this ghost from a past that we can't quite touch.
And this is not a new mystery. We're talking over 600 years that this book has held on to its secrets. It's outlasted empires, it's survived wars, and it is watched as the world's brightest people have tried and failed to break its code.
So, like any good detective story, the first thing we have to do is understand the object itself. What is the Voynich Manuscript, really?
Well, we've got some clues. Carbon dating tells us that its pages, which are made of vellum, a kind of animal skin, are from the early 1400s. The first real trace we have of it comes from a letter they found tucked inside, dated 1665. The letter claims it once belonged to the Holy Roman Emperor Rudolph II, a guy who was really into alchemy and the occult. But it vanishes after that, until 1912, when a book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich, who the book is now named after, stumbled upon it in Italy. But here's what really gets you: the script itself. Scholars call it Voynichese, and it is not just random scribbles. No way. When you run a statistical analysis on it, it has all the signs of a real language. You see patterns, words that repeat, what looks like a consistent grammar. The only problem? It doesn't match any language we know of, living or dead. So, okay, if the text is a dead end for now, where do you look next? You turn to the only other source of information you have, the strange and beautiful illustrations that are all over its 240 pages. And this is where things get really weird. The botanical section, it shows over 100 plants that are completely unknown. They look real enough, but no botanist has ever been able to identify a single one. Then you've got these astrological charts with star maps that don't match any constellations we can see from Earth. And then there's this whole section with drawings of women bathing in these strange green pools, all connected by this intricate, almost organ-like plumbing.
So what on earth could this all mean? The bathing section makes some people think it's an old text on women's health. The weird plants and star charts make others think, okay, maybe it's a manual for an alchemist. But here's the big problem. If this is a guidebook for a doctor or an alchemist, why would you write it in a code that nobody can possibly read? It kind of defeats the whole purpose, right?
And that question, well, it has obsessed people for a century. The challenge of the Voynich Manuscript has attracted some of the greatest code breakers in history. These are the pros.
We're talking about people like the legend himself, William Friedman. This is the guy who helped break Japan's Purple Code back in World War II. He spent years of his life on this manuscript, and he decided it wasn't some simple code. He believed it was a constructed artificial language, something someone invented with its own rules. He was convinced there was a logic to it. We just haven't been smart enough to find it.
So after decades of the best human minds hitting a brick wall, you know what happened next? We turned the problem over to a new kind of mind. Researchers scanned every single page in super high resolution and fed it all into powerful AI systems. The computers did what they do best. They chewed through the data, finding patterns a human could never see. The AI came up with theories. Maybe it was an old dialect, or even a weirdly encoded version of Hebrew. But here's the kicker. Every time the AI came up with a promising solution, human experts would step in, take a look, and find fatal flaws. Nope, even AI couldn't crack it. The book remains undefeated. So, after centuries of investigation, with the best human and artificial minds on the case, where does that leave us? Well, we're basically left with two big theories, and they are completely opposite from each other.
So on one side, you've got the hoax theory. Maybe it's all just beautifully written gibberish, an elaborate prank made to scam a rich guy. But think about it, making 240 pages of vellum, mixing all those inks, and writing with such consistency, that would have been a massively expensive and time-consuming project in the 1400s. Why go to all that trouble for a prank? Then on the other side, you have the believers. They think it's real. A lost language, a cipher so genius we can't break it, or maybe it's something called outsider art, a peek inside a unique mind that just saw the world in a way we can't even begin to understand.
And this leads us to a really fascinating thought. What if we're asking the wrong question entirely? Maybe the point of the Voynich manuscript isn't to be decoded. Maybe its purpose is just to exist, as this beautiful, mysterious object that we can't penetrate, a tribute to the great unknown.
And that's a powerful idea, isn't it? In an age where we have Google and GPS, where almost any answer is just a click away, the Voynich manuscript is this incredible reminder that there are still shadows on the map. There are still codes we can't break and true mysteries left in the world. And maybe, just maybe, that's something worth holding on to.